It's a national award-winning program, and tonight it's entering its 5th season. Our Native Land tackles everything from reconciliation to arts and culture through Indigenous perspectives. And it's hosted by our very own Tchadas Leo, who joins us now to talk about the 5th season, which goes tonight. Congratulations on all the success of Our Native Land. 5 seasons, that's incredible. You must be pretty excited about tonight's debut.
Yeah, absolutely. It is exciting. Thanks, Scott. It's a little weird to be on the other side of the set here, but I'm going to take it with pride and do my best. But I am very proud. You know, I walked into this this building a little over 5 years ago, and it was the first podcast ever here in CHEK Studios in the CHEK podcast booth. And little did I know, you know, that it would become more than just that feeling of talking to the wall, maybe having a couple listeners, you know, maybe 5 and then -2, including my mom and dad. But, you know, I'm very proud of what we've been able to produce and to create and to really grow the show into just more than just little conversations in a closet, but expand to what it is now, which is a lot more on location, deeper conversations. And that's built with a lot of the knowledge that I've kind of learned over the years, right? So
why is this program so important to you?
I mean, it's so important to me because on a personal level, as an urban Indigenous male, I left the Humalco Reservation where I grew up when I was 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. So, you know, I was quite disconnected my culture, my community, my language as I studied at, you know, different institutions and different careers I've had up until now. So when we started this show, it started to really create this sense of belonging to other Indigenous nations first, because, you know, whether it was journalism or podcasting, you know, the need and the thirst for these kind of conversations started to become a little more natural. And then as that progressed, all of a sudden I was starting to reconnect with my nation because there were stories to be told there too. So the importance really for me is that it reconnected me to a lot of my relatives and people on reserve that, you know, I grew up with for years. And the larger scale of things, it really allows a lot of these Indigenous communities to tell their stories, you know, on a platform that, you know, although very good in a new setting, you know, maybe 2.5, 3 minutes, this can expand it to 22 minutes and really dive into those conversations, give the opportunity to really dig in, especially for elders to kind of extend their thought, which they are really good at doing, but it needs that longer format.
What do you hope that people take away from, whether it's this season or any of the past seasons, the overall feel of the program? What would you hope that people would gain from it?
I mean, I think I really want people to gain this sense of what reconciliation is on a large scale. It can be, and a small scale, you know, it can be something so simple as listening to an artist's voice and maybe participating and purchasing their product, to the larger conversation of listening to a residential school survivor. And again, because of the climate we're in right now, especially in this province with, you know, residential school denialism and all the conversations on a political level, I think people can take away that there's small doses of reconciliation that are really easy to apply and help if that's the path you're on. And then there's also these larger conversations for them to listen and to gather. And I hate to use the word palatable, but it gives that opportunity for people that maybe aren't aware of the show or reconciliation as much as some other people, gives them that really beautiful entrance into that conversation. It's a bridge, yeah, a bridge of reconciliation on an island, provincial, and national scale.
And you, not only do the viewer or the listener, depending on how you consume the content, podcast or air on CHEK or CHEK Plus, how you've learned along the way too, though, as a host. Like, I would say, just as a viewer, I feel like, and as a colleague, I've seen you grow throughout it, but I feel like you kind of take the viewer through that process. It's fairly transparent that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not here to show that I'm the expert in anything. I think part of the journey and the growth that you mentioned is that I started off really not knowing a whole lot except what I learned in high school and living on reserve, and again through some of the education that I did in institutions. So I think viewers and listeners that are seeing what I'm doing in real time, they're learning as I'm learning. So I like to give that platform to the people that know best or have those experience or have that real world applications to what we're talking about. And I hope it comes across, because if I don't find it interesting and I'm not learning, I don't think the viewer, the listener, is gonna do the same thing. So we got to do it together.
Who are new to Our Native Land, what can they expect in the 5th season?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, starting with tonight, we have a sit-down interview with Premier David Eby, and we're talking, couch and land title, residential school denialism. So there is some political conversations along the way this season. We also got a great opportunity where we went to the Vancouver Indigenous Fashion Week, where I was able to go on the largest, walkway in North America. So we have 3 episodes of that, and then we have some intimate conversations with a bunch of other, again, politicians, artists, whatnot. So I think it's going to be a wide range of my interests, but also the interests that I've realized my viewers and listeners have come to enjoy, which is meaningful conversations, different topics in a way that, again, is maybe scratching the surface, but on a 22-minute level where hopefully the listener and viewer leaves with a better understanding of whatever that person is, topic is, and again, all towards sort of different paths that people are taking towards reconciliation in this province.
Well, congratulations on all the success. Well-deserved, well-earned, terrific program, and here's to its growth and many more seasons to come. Tonight, Our Native Land airs here on CHEK. You can also catch it at CHEK Plus tonight.